Copies in art have a long and multifaceted history. Already in antiquity, and especially during the Renaissance, reproducing masterpieces was a central part of training for young artists. Through copying, they learned technique, composition, and style, and it was considered a legitimate method of practice and study. With the invention of printmaking and later photography, copying also gained importance as it made artworks accessible to a wider audience. Museums and academies likewise used copies to document styles and motifs and to pass them on. There are different types of copies. Exact copies attempt to replicate the original as precisely as possible, while interpretative copies transfer a work into the artist's own style or a different medium. Forgeries differ in that they are deliberately sold as originals, making them legally and morally problematic. Reproductions, such as prints or posters, are often produced technically and with the consent of the rights holders. Philosophically, copies raise questions about originality, authenticity, and value. Walter Benjamin, for example, describes in The Work of Art in the Age of Its Mechanical Reproduction that the original possesses a special aura that copies cannot attain. At the same time, copies serve as a learning process, yet they also touch on the question of how much personal contribution a work must have to be considered art. While the original usually holds cultural and monetary value, copies can gain significance through their own history. In the modern era, these boundaries blur even further. Digital technologies, AI-generated images, and NFTs are changing how copies are perceived and open new possibilities for dissemination or creative remixing. Artistic movements like pop art or street art even use copying deliberately as a strategy to transform, reinterpret, or comment on existing works. Copies in art have thus been and continue to be not only a means of learning or spreading works, but also a catalyst for reflecting on creativity, originality, and cultural value.